Have you ever wondered who you truly are? When you say I, who is speaking? What is this entity that you call yourself? The question of identity, what it means to have a self, has been the subject of deep philosophical inquiry for thousands of years. Today, we are going to explore this enigma. Is the self a solid reality, or is it just an illusion, a story we tell ourselves? Close your eyes for a moment and try to find the self within. Search for that core of you-ness. You may think of your memories, your personality, or your consciousness. But if you look closely, you'll realize that what you consider to be you is constantly changing. Our likes and dislikes, our emotions, and even our beliefs transform over time. The person you were at 10 years old is not the same person you are today. Every cell in your body has been replaced, your opinions have evolved, and your perspective on the world has shifted. So, where is the unchanging self in all of this? If everything about you can change, what remains? Philosophers and scientists have long debated whether the self exists at all. The Buddhist concept of anatta, the doctrine of no self, suggests that the self is nothing more than an illusion, a collection of experiences and sensations strung together like beads on a thread. There is no single, permanent self behind the curtain, only an ongoing stream of thoughts and feelings, constantly arising and passing away. Modern neuroscience seems to support this view. Studies have shown that the brain creates the sense of a unified self, but this sense is more like a virtual reality simulation than an objective reality. Your brain is continuously constructing a narrative of who you are, one that feels seamless and continuous, but it's only a mental construction. In the words of David Hume, an 18th century philosopher, when he searched for the self, he found nothing but a bundle or collection of different perceptions. Let's challenge this illusion. If the self is not in your body, nor in your memories, nor in your thoughts, where is it? What if the very idea of I is a falsehood, a trick of the mind? The truth might be that you are not the observer. You are the observation. You are not the thinker. You are the thoughts. The self is not a single, static entity, but an unfolding process, like a river that flows but never stays the same. You are the dance, not the dancer. You are the song, not the singer. If the self is an illusion, what does that mean for our lives? Is it liberating or terrifying? For some, the idea that the self does not truly exist might bring discomfort. If there is no core me, then who is living this life? Who is making choices, experiencing joy, or feeling pain? But consider this. If the self is not fixed, then you are free to reinvent yourself. You are not bound by the past, by your memories, or by your mistakes. You are not a prisoner of an unchanging identity. Instead, you are like a canvas, constantly being repainted layer upon layer with each new experience and thought. This realization can bring a profound sense of freedom. You are not stuck as the person you think you are. You are not your failures, your fears, or even your successes. These are merely temporary aspects passing like clouds in the sky. Yet here lies a paradox. We crave identity, and at the same time, we yearn for freedom from its constraints. We want to be someone, to matter, to have a purpose, yet we also desire to transcend our limitations. This is the human condition, caught between the illusion of a solid self and the reality of a fluid, ever-changing existence. Perhaps, rather than seeking a permanent self, we should embrace the impermanence of who we are. Instead of being someone, we can focus on being. Just as a wave is not separate from the ocean, we are not separate from the flow of life itself. In the end, the self might be nothing more than a narrative, a story we tell ourselves to make sense of the world. But does that make it any less real? Even if the self is an illusion, it is a powerful one. It shapes our actions, our relationships, our fears, and our joys. And maybe, just maybe, the point is not to shatter the illusion, but to understand it, to play with it, to dance within its boundaries. So, who are you really? Perhaps the answer is as elusive as the self itself, but in seeking it, we may find something far more profound. The realization that we are not just one thing, but many, constantly changing and evolving like the universe itself. Embrace the mystery. Let go of the need for a solid answer, and you might just find the freedom to be whoever or whatever you choose to be.